Hello, my friends. Welcome to your full moon in Taurus reading. And it's going to be amazing because this is actually an eclipse, so a lunar eclipse in addition to the full moon. And this is going to be happening on November 19th around 1:57 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So depending on where you're at in the world, you'll experience it, of course, at a different time if you're in a different time zone. And of course, the eclipse is when, the sun's over here, the earth is here, and the moon is over here. Normally the sun is, shining on that full moon, and so you see it as full, but then the earth gets in the way and our earth shadows over the full moon, which is where the eclipse happens. It's not going to be a full eclipse this time around, but you're going to see some shade go over the moon for a little bit during that cycle. And so, full moons are very powerful on their own, but a full moon eclipse is like a full moon on steroids. You're going to feel some energy around this where like a door slams shut. So, you might have situations that are happening in your life that reach a peak, or they've just done so. And now it's like things are out of your control. It's like your soul has signed up for some sort of growth lesson, some sort of situation to unfold to bring things to your attention. So, it's about, letting those people or situations or things either leave our lives or come into our lives. So you're going to be seeing these significant kind of endings and new beginnings. They'll be like tower type of events, what like the tower in tarot, which is, life is unfolding for you, something is being removed or being brought into your life on purpose for a purpose. So during this time, it's really good advice just to go with the flow of the change. Forgive whatever happens, knowing that, this releases you from any of those emotional extremes, because in addition to it being a full moon eclipse, it is in Taurus, and Taurus energy does bring it brings in a time of getting grounded, I guess is a good word to say it. We work through any negative feelings that we've been having or are feeling, and we find this balance in how we're expressing those emotions. So we're not being too dreamy and we're not being too serious. It's really about this grounding balance that we can take advantage of. So this, again, the full moon normally expands all our emotions and exaggerates them, with it being an eclipse, again, on steroids. So, it's kind of like the Pisces full moon we felt, which Pisces energy really brings in a lot of emotion. This is going to expand any emotions that we're feeling, but just know that there's this beautiful grounding energy available through the Taurus energy that can help balance things out to where we can see this beautiful ebb and flow of life instead of, an extreme, fearful type of event happen in our lives. So a lot of deep breathing will help. The bull is a mighty strong spirit animal as well. It sits it doesn't really sit, it stands its ground in its territory, and people respect the bull because of how grounded and strong it is. So just tap into that energy, and it'll be a not so strenuous and extreme full moon for you. We're also going to pull a special reading for your specific sign. So we're going to jump into that right now and just see what else the Creator wants you to know about this full moon Taurus eclipse energy that's going to be coming in for you during this period. All right, all my Geminis, this is your Taurus full moon eclipse reading. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle. These just have a very earthy, grounding feeling to them, which totally fits into that Taurus energy of balance that we're looking for. So We'll start off just by asking the Creator what, in general, they want you to know, all my Geminis, for the 3-week period around the full moon, and it'll be the week before the full moon eclipse, and then 2 weeks after. So just generally, Creator, all right, there we go. And you've got the Direction Guardian, so choose your path. And I love, it's got all this, it's kind of the Wheel of Fortune feel to it, like the major arcana. Definitely, this is like getting your bearings, reconnecting to what your true north is, like your why. What is it that you're passionate about? Have you drifted off course? Has life grabbed you and kind of nudged you off in a different direction, and you've been intending to move back toward focusing on your dream? This is that reminder, this is that nudge back toward living your passion, living that living. They're just like saying living, not existing, but back living. Not, existing to work, but that work is existing so that you could live your dreams and you can take steps towards that beautiful thing in your life that brings such joy to your heart, that makes your soul sing, and that allows you to express your unconditional love that you have inside you in a unique way with the world. How are you going to express it? And it says, connect with your deepest desires, then choose the path that will make your heart and soul sing. The Direction Guardian represents the angels of direction. These amazing angels are the ones who come to us when we're at a crossroads and don't know which way to go, and when we are unsure of what is right for us or of the bigger picture. They can help us know what is best for all involved. So the Direction Guardian card refers to the vision of the Hebrew prophet Ezekiel, who's said to have seen an angel with 4 different faces. One was a cherub or child, one was a bull, one was a lion, and one was an eagle. So you can see all that there. Sorry about the glare there. These 4 faces show that angels can appear in many guises and guide us in many different directions, but always for our highest good. Your path isn't set in stone, and your angels and guides have no expectations for you, nor should you have any for yourself. There are many directions that you can take. None of them are wrong, as they all hold perfect opportunities to grow and to learn. But life is to be enjoyed and savored. So if you know that there's a decision to be made, and particularly if you are feeling indecisive, choose the path you know is going to make you light up, and choose with your heart. So absolutely. Yeah, definitely connecting to your heart and what makes your soul sing, right? Next, we're going to pull a card here from these Ancestral Path Tarot. And this is just going to be what the Creator wants you to know about the first week before the full moon eclipse. And just what information they want you to know. All right, Creator, for our Geminis, what do you want them to know? Okay. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. And you've got the 10 of Staves, which is the 10 of Wands in a regular deck. It's fire energy. She's holding all that burden. You can see that she's got, something that she birthed before, something recently that she birthed, and she's carrying, all this, I don't know if it's burdensome, but it is weighing heavy on her because there's been so much, she's invested so much, and you've come so far. And what this is bringing up for me is actually has to do with your dreams. If you feel overwhelmed and you feel burdened, like I mentioned in the beginning, it is because you're not living your dream. if you have this, well, this is my dream and I'm working so hard toward it, and oh my God, every day I wake up and I'm like, oh God, got to work on my dream, then that isn't your dream. That's someone else's dream that was handed to you, that you accepted and said, okay, well, this is my dream, so I'm going to try to make it happen. But if you're not waking up in the morning full of passion and energy toward that dream, then that isn't yours, because you would have all that energy, all that just beautiful fire in your belly, wanting, just to jump out of bed. And even if you have another job to do or children to take care of and all this other stuff, you do all that. And then you're like, I can't wait, because then I'm going to have this hour today where I'm just going to work on this thing that lights you up, right? That makes you feel lighter, that makes you feel flowing with love. And time just flies by because you're so passionate about it. But that's not what this card shows. This card shows like, I have all this other stuff that I feel is more important than my dream, and I'm going to have to sacrifice my dream for all these things. And that's the thing that we're taught, right? Especially women. What a great society we have that goes, yeah, have a dream, but sacrifice everything, sacrifice it for everyone else first, for your spouse and your children and for your relatives, and for, you're the one that gets to bear the burden of everything. Okay, deal. And you're just like, it's what you're taught, right? It's a lot of what, at least in the United States, our society is built so much that way for so long. But that's not the way the universe works. That's not the way the higher realm works. You can choose that, and it is fear that keeps you in the place of burden, because you're afraid of what will other people think, and this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what I should do. There's all these popular opinions from the outside world on who you're supposed to be, and I don't mean to isolate, fathers out there too, or however you relate, how you identify, because, there's a lot of single parents out there that do sacrifice so much of everything they want for the sake of the children, right? And yes, children, can't take care of themselves to an extent, but you also get to raise your children how you want to raise them and involve them in your dream if you so wish. Because if you don't live your dream, you're teaching your children, sacrifice your dreams for everyone else, and then eventually, maybe, if you're lucky, you can live your dream. Instead, you make them part of living your dream, right? So if it's working on some sort of vision board, let's say, just to start off, going, you know what, I'm going to create a vision board for what I want. Well, hey kids, come on, we're going to create vision boards today. And you're going to engage them. And even if their vision board is about what they want for their birthday, or what they want for a holiday, or what they want to do during summer, or, what's your ideal vacation? What would you like to explore? What's your favorite animal? What's your favorite, whatever it might be. Let that be their creative expression, and you can be working on yours while they're working on there. And yeah, it may take you longer, because when you have them, children around, you need to, do that, and they're all, mom, dad, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh my God. But you will feel so much more energized towards your dream, because you see your children are also learning and growing through your process of going through your dream, right? So it doesn't have to be isolated. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You can make adventures around your building your own business, building your own dreams and all that, where children are very easily entertained. If you're like needing to go to Home Depot or to Office Max or somewhere to get supplies and stuff, and like, we're going to go on an adventure today, and we're going to have a scavenger hunt, so here's your list, you have to try to find this, and you have to try to find this, and then they make it an adventure, right? Make it a quest. So you can use your imagination, and you can not make it all or nothing. And I really feel like this is that like we're talking about, you've been nudged off track, and there's all this stuff that feels urgent and important, and it's not. There's a lot of the stuff that you're carrying that you chose to pick up, or that other people said, here, carry this. And you're like, okay, you can question all those burdens that you're carrying, all those expectations you're trying to meet. And if it is that you have older children and a spouse, and you're like, hey, I want to, this is what I want to do with my life. What do you guys want to do with your life? What's important to you? Sometimes we're like, well, I can't. Well, we have this big house, I have this house payment. And you can ask your children and everything else, do you guys like this house? Or what if we moved to this location, or downsized, or did this or did that, whatever? And you'll be surprised. Sometimes what you think everyone wants isn't what they want, right? So there's possibilities. There's alternatives. Okay. All right. That's enough for that one. And then we're going to look at the Tarot of Dreams for the week after the full moon eclipse. All right, created for our Geminis. What do you want them to know about the week after? Okay. Yeah, that's it. Boom, boom. They are having these cards come out fast for you. So here you go. You've got the Strength. This is a beautiful card, though, too, because this represents knowing the two sides of yourself. And this will help with this direction, identifying your true north, too, because the tiger here, it's usually a lion. That animal, whatever it is in the Strength card, represents our human self, our fight or flight, the little human character that is our avatar that's playing us in this game that we came down to experience. And it comes down hungry, and it comes down thirsty. But it's told, with all these burdens, right, that what fulfills you, what's going to make your tummy feel full, and what's going to make your thirst quenched is out here. Go out there and find it. So he goes, okay, and he goes out there, and he tries food, and it just makes him hungrier. He drinks, and it just makes him thirstier, and so it makes him more desperate, and so he eats more and more and more and more and more, and drinks more and more and more and more, but just gets hungrier and thirstier because it's not satisfying. And so he becomes hangry, which is the hungry angry, and he's roaring in the jungle because, again, like I said, he's desperate and nothing is satisfying him. Well, then you have you can see the little star there. You have your eternal self, your divine self, the supernatural, powerful, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And our ego, this little avatar, the human side of us, is a piece of us. And it was the brave piece of us that chose to get disconnected from that, the unconditional love and all that. And now it's hungry, and it's starving, and it's roaring, and our higher self hears us, and it comes down, and it doesn't try to put us out of our misery by, sticking us with a sword, or try to cage us, to try to control us, or try to suppress us with a whip and a chair like they do in the circus movies and circus. It brings us what we've been searching for all along, which is the unconditional love that we are. And so it comes down, and it just loves on our little self, embraces it, and we transform from this roaring lion in the jungle to this purring little lion cub or tiger cub, sitting in the lap of our higher self, feeling full, complete, and safe for the first time in our lives. And so that is the story of our journey here. We came here on purpose to experience this lion, and feeling the hunger, and feeling all those fear emotions that are so uncomfortable for us. But at some point, we wake up. We grow tired and burdened and exhausted trying to live up to all those external things on the outside of us. And we connect to a higher place, to a higher mission, to a higher, just a quest, like I said, before. It's this journey that we chose here to come and experience. And we experienced all those, it's like that dark, some people say the dark night of the soul. I say dark decades of the soul until we are sparked and connected and remember who we really are, right? And then that allows us to change our direction, to change our focus, to change where we're investing all this energy. So instead of investing it into all those other dreams that people say we're supposed to live, we start zeroing it down to what we really want. But this is that beautiful relationship then, and you walk hand in hand, through the journey of life. Instead of feeling so alone and lost as a tiger, you have this powerful being of yourself that sees things from a higher perspective and sees things clearly, and with capital T truths instead of small t truths. So in much better hands and not walking blindly, we just it transforms everything, right? Yeah. Because then you have the tower. Don't be scared. We all need shock treatment once in a while. But this is beautiful because this goes very well with this strength card, because, before we came down here, our higher self, we did decide this is when we're going to come down and enter the game of life, and this is when we're going to leave this game of life as this character, and this is the character that's going to play me. I'm going to be a tiger in this lifetime, like in this example. But this is the person I'm going to be. These are my strengths, my weaknesses, the weapons. Like when you choose to play a video game, and you go in knowing that there's all these experiences, all these fated experiences and situations you want to experience for your entire life. These things are going to happen in your life, and you've planned it because you have all these things that you want to experience and grow through. And by experiencing the smallness of this human being, we understand more fully of this bigger being of who we are. By experiencing limitedness, we understand our limitlessness. By understanding our feeling powerless, we understand how powerful we really are. By experiencing conditional love and darkness, we understand the unconditional love that we experience on the other side and the light that we are. So it comes on purpose for purpose, and we have all these fated events that we want to have happen. And your little self, we still have that power of choice. For every event and every circumstance that we go through, we get to choose what story we put around that. I'll say that again. We get to choose what story we put around the circumstance. We also get to choose what emotion we want to experience during that moment. Is it going to be an extreme emotion of fear or an extreme emotion of unconditional love, or somewhere in between? We get to decide. And we get to decide moment by moment what story and what emotion we're going to feel. Now, I know sometimes it's like, well, it doesn't feel like I'm making a choice. And eventually it doesn't, after decades or years of making an emotional reaction or a story being applied to a situation, a habit. It's become so natural and a habit that it's a split second. I mean, we don't even realize it, but if you can slow down the movie, you would be able to see the moment that the decision was made of this is the story that I'm applying, this is the emotion I'm going to feel. So that's what unfolds. The tower comes into all, that's kind of like the Wheel of Fortune story, which we talked about the Wheel of Fortune in the beginning here. So that's kind of like what the Wheel of Fortune means. Now the tower comes in to, among all those fated events or situations, you have this thing that's been going on purpose for purpose up to this time. If this stays here and in place, we won't be able to experience these other things that we want to experience in our lives. So and this can be a relationship, so like a romantic relationship, a relationship with our family, a friend, a coworker, but it's some sort of relationship with another human or animal, or it's a situation we're in, like a job or education or social status or something we own, something physical, like our, maybe the money we have, or the home, the car, or our physical bodies. So this thing that is in our life has served its purpose up to here, but it needs to be removed right here for us to experience those other things. Now, if you're connected to the higher realms, if you're in that vibration where you can hear spirit, which is the vibration of unconditional love and joy and peace, if you're at that, in that place, you can hear the countdown of the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 before the lightning strikes, right? So you can choose to step out of the tower without getting blasted out of it any time between that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? And sometimes you'll see the tower card, someone getting blasted out and someone leaping out. And that's what that means, is that we still have that power in our life to step out of something earlier if we want to. And there's no shame, no judgment if you go for the shock treatment, because like I said, we all like to learn this amazing, extreme lessons in life. And so a lot of us wait to get blasted out, and then that means that it's removed for us. And the beautiful message that comes with the tower is that life happens for us, not to us, right? So if something's removed out of our life or brought into our life, it's happening for us, not to us. And that transforms our whole experience from feeling like a victim to feeling like a victor. So it's an amazing card to show up, because it means something is going to be changing, but it's going to be changing for you, right? And this awareness connecting to your higher self, just this combination is beautiful here. Yeah. And then you have the Ace of Coins, the Ace of Pentacles, which definitely means it's this gift coming in, the outside world, new possibilities, which I love, with this, the removal of, all this stuff is really what I feel happens here, right? You're removing all these stabs, all these wands, all this energy that you're investing somewhere else. All that restriction, all those opinions from the outside world makes, like this is how it has to happen. But when I said that there's so many ways you can use your imagination to bring in, ways for you to live your dreams no matter what's going on in your life. This is that affirmation of that, saying there's all these possibilities that open up. There's all these seeds being planted. There's this new just new opportunities, new possibilities, new things, even new money coming in. It can mean, that, but it's this feeling of abundance, this feeling of freshness and newness coming in your outside world, because Pentacles and Coins is the physical world. So you're going to be seeing that take place in the physical world. And then we're going to take some cards here from the True Heart Intuitive. And these are going to be for the second week after the full moon eclipse. But this is a powerful change. I mean, these are major arcana here, which means it's not just a situational, it's a life-changing event. So just know whatever happens, it's happening for you, not to you. No matter what story, but you get to put whatever story you get to choose. But this is just letting you know that it's happening for you. If you can grasp it, you can understand it and see that it's not devastation that's coming your way. It's release if something's removed out of your life, right? All right, Creator, for our Geminis, what do you want them to know about the second week after the full moon eclipse? Okay, what else? Okay, anything else? And last pass. Okay, just want to have one here, so this is going to pretty much sum it up for you. Yep, makes sense. 6 of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations, and you're moving from one frame of thinking into another frame of thinking. You're letting some old truths go and replacing them with different. And this is movement. So, of course, this is movement. There's something coming in or leaving your life. So I really feel this is relation to like this 10 of wands there, the 10 of stabs, because you're changing your mindset around things. You're allowing expectations to go away and those possibilities to open up. So it makes sense that your mindset is totally changing. And it can mean a movement in a variety of ways. It can be a movement in relationship, it can be a movement in thought, or a movement in job, a movement in location, like physical location where you live. So it can represent this movement that will be happening or ignited through this experience here. So this will be the second week after that full moon eclipse in Taurus. So I'm loving it for you. It's going to be life-changing. It's happening for you, though, so nothing to fear. And just know as you're going through it all that every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. So it is, they're on your side and they're here for your biggest experience. So connect to your higher self and have that direction. Come back to your dream, or for the first time, discover what your dream is and start living and not existing. So I'm going to leave the reading there. I also like to let you know that in addition to these readings, I do like monthly readings for each zodiac sign, and I do the full moon, new moon readings. I do weekly readings by each of the elements, like fire signs, air signs, etc., and some other types of readings. So if you want to stay in the loop when those come out, if you haven't done so already, just click the subscribe button down below, and then once you do that, then this little notification bell will pop up, and if you click on that, then you'll be notified when they come out. So it's easy breezy. All right, well, just know that I also love you dearly, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care.